Alright, everyone, if you clicked on the title, then you know what I'm doing. I am drawing Pokemon from memory, which, I'll be honest, from the jump, I don't know how well I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. So, let's not ado any further. Let's just generate the Pokemon that I am going to be drawing. Drowsy. Okay, I think I can work with that. I mean, you can probably tell. I'll include the screen recording because I just did it off my phone. But I, at least for this one, am limiting myself to Gen 1 Pokemon, and so I'm trying to give myself the best chances. Oh, it was a little big. The best, actually, maybe I didn't mind it being a little bigger. The best chances at succeeding in this challenge, just because I feel like Gen 1 Pokemon are typically pretty easy to remember, and so I'm I think I'm repeating myself. I'm just setting myself up for success is what I'm trying to get at. And if you are curious what okay, I think it, hold on. It's like a snout like this. Right? If you are wondering what drawing software program that I'm using, it's just Procreate on my trusty old iPad. Okay, guys, I know this does not look promising right now, but don't lose faith in me just yet. I'm getting somewhere, and I think Drowsy has ears, right? Do they point upward? Like, I think it's like that. I think that's what Drowsy's ears look like. And if not, you guys will forgive me, right? You won't be mean to me. You won't say, "Oh, Rosso, your memory is so poor. I'll never watch a video of yours again. How can I ever trust you?" Does it like, right? Is that what Drowsy looks like? I think I'm somewhat on the right track. I don't think I was given too hard of a challenge, but nor do I think this was a complete, like, walk in the park, like maybe Voltorb would be. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think this looks awful. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm cooking with gas here, but okay, no. This is one thing that I don't like about nah, it's fine, I don't need to get into it. But I think in terms of the head, this is pretty good. Now, I think let's, draw the body, which is like rotund, like this. Does Drowsy have a neck? Oh no, he has like under eye. Okay, we'll do details later. But he's like, I'm trying to remember what kind of legs Drowsy has, because I think they're like, like this, and then the proportions, I will admit, are a bit troublesome in this current moment, but what if we just make him like, okay, never mind. I was gonna go for like an interesting pose, but right now I'm going for like the most plain pose that I could probably draw. Okay, we need to lower the leg, but we'll do it later. I just need to like sort of, and then there's like the squiggly like division between the yellow and brown half of his body, and then he has like, would say pretty normal arms, like just these fingers are huge. Let's just pretend that looks normal. Whoa, okay, it's a hard ask. I just made of you guys when I saw the proportions of it, but I keep saying proportions this, proportions that. I'm not trying to sound all like as if there's any like technique or knowledge behind this. It is purely vibes. But I think that's kind of like the point of these challenges is because I've seen people do it before. I think the one that comes to mind, I think I watched, like, this video's old. I doubt they've even like done a video like this in forever, but I keep like, and I'm pretty sure I have it turned off, but like where if I double, like if two of my fingers tap the screen at the same time, then it'll undo. But I'm pretty sure I turned that feature off, and so I do not know why it keeps happening. But I don't know why I want to draw him with like his arms up. But what was I saying? Oh, I saw, like, I remember seeing, like, I think it was Jaden Animations and the, what is the name? Odd Ones Out? Or Odd Ones Out? Did I say the same thing twice? Whatever, you know them. I saw them too, okay, wait, what if I just make him put his hand on his hip? Hold on, give me a second, I'm cooking with something here. Okay, maybe I do need to decrease the size of this pen a little bit because it is like creating too big of lines and it's making it a little tough for me. But here, I'm cooking with something right now. Just give me 1 second. You're gonna see this here and be like, okay, I all of a sudden see the vision and respect you for the artistic genius that you are. Like, I never went in with the intention of, you know, drawing any whatever Pokemon I ended up getting in the, like, official art style, and I knew I was going to be, like, silly with it, but I don't think I expected to reach this level of, weirdness and silliness, and I think maybe perhaps I'm, yeah, perhaps this isn't the best showcasing of my talent, but maybe that's not what this video is for, you know what I mean? Maybe this isn't about talent or ego. This is about expression. But oh boy, I honestly think I hate the body overall, and I think I just need to restart because this is not I don't know, it's not really feeling right to me, and the more I like invest into it, the less okay, now drawing him with a neck feels weird, but like, does Drowsy have a neck? Is he kind of like shaped like a, I'm kind of drawing him like a bowling pin, which, you know, I can't tell if this is a move in the right direction. I mean, it's not all that different than the body I had before, but now it's sort of like, he has a neck. Like, is this right? I think it is. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? This just feels so ridiculous to me, and I think, you know what, the fact that I'm laughing and enjoying myself, I'm gonna take as a good sign. I'm gonna do one thing I love to do in Procreate is liquify, which is just letting me sort of put, ooh, definitely needs to be a lot bigger, like morph the lines that I've already drawn, which to me is helpful because sometimes I'll have the general shape right, but I just need to make some adjustments. And I only do this on like the rough sketch layers because this will definitely blur out your blur the pixels, blur the lines a lot more, and it definitely like lowers the quality of the look. Like if I were to zoom in, well, you can't really tell with this brush, so ignore everything I just said. Okay, let's go for the legs again because I think I had at least that part right, but it's just like I drew such a weird plane angle that like kind of makes it hard for me to go anywhere from here. But you know, whatever. I'm even when I have reference pictures to work off of, I wouldn't say that my strength is drawing like dynamic poses. I think if anything, that's like an aspect of my art that needs a whole lot of work. Is ew, okay, I didn't like that. Is the poses that I draw in because I think they're very stiff and sedentary. And, you know, of course everyone's going to be critical of the stuff that they make, and maybe that's not something that you would notice if I weren't, you know, making it so obvious, but, or maybe it is, and I don't know. Or maybe you don't even think about it, and like my art, and that's the reality, is no one's thinking about it as much as I am. Because why would you? I'm going to say this is somewhat similar to what we had before, but he kind of looks like those, like the nerds, like, what are they called? Like the little nerds, little mascot things where it's just like, it looks kind of like a dinosaur. I don't know. Let's just do a basic plain pose. Let's just do, well, doesn't he usually have his arms forward? Isn't that, am I imagining that? Isn't Drowsy's whole thing of like being like, kind of like the, like, old-fashioned-y, like zombie arm pose is like his arm pose position, whatever. It probably needs to be a little bigger. That looks like a baby's arm, but you get the idea. It's something like, right? That's like, I kind of like the just mitten hand. How do you say that? Mitten hand. Because it's like oven mitt, right? I don't know. I'm saying these things. Okay, this. Okay, I all of a sudden like it again. Again, you all. I am going for vibes here and accuracy, but above all, vibes. And then let's just do the little swoopy doopy. Like dipped in mud look that he has on his lower half. Okay. I hate to say it, he kind of looks not that great. But like, you know, I don't hate it. So I'm going to get started on, I don't know like what kind of style of line art I want to do. Let me see. A lot of times in my videos I'll say give me a second too, but I edit that out, so I don't know why I always say that. But anyway, I'm gonna pick a brush and then that's what I'll cut to. Okay, I think I know. I'm not gonna do my usual style when it comes to the line art that I do, I'm gonna do something a bit different, but you won't be able to tell immediately because, well, you'll see it. Is that okay? I think I made the pupils too big because I think famously Drowsy has small pupils, right? Famously. I also, yeah, sure. Okay, I think that's good. And I'm using the word good very loosely. So, take that with a cup of salt. I don't. I keep like wanting to talk about things, and not that I think anyone is putting limits on what I'm allowed to talk about in my videos, but the one thing that I keep going back to in my mind that I feel like talking about, which feels a little off topic, is I watched does that lip do anything? I hate that. let's just do that. Yeah. I watched Ludwig, his whole tip to tip series. I watched that not all at once. I was watching it as it was releasing, and I just enjoyed it so much. I thought it was so fun. I thought it seemed very I think I'm not, like, how do I put this? I like to travel, which is a realization that I made I think in the past few years in my life. I think there was a point in my life where I'm like, oh, I don't know if like I get why people like traveling, but I don't really like to. And then I started to travel more, and I was like, wait, this is actually very enjoyable, and I enjoy this. This is enjoyable, and I enjoy this. Peak rationale and language. But anyway, I sort of like I even though I've become more like of a travel enjoyer, I've never really been one to consume travel content, and because I guess I don't know, I think there's sort of like a bit of a stereotype to it that I am not particularly fond of, not being a travel vlog watcher, but like a travel vlog creator. I think sometimes whatever, I don't need to get into it, but I just have not been a consumer of travel content. But I watched Ludwig's tip to tip thing where he, along with Michael Reeves, drove from the southernmost tip of Japan to the northernmost point of Japan, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed it, and I was like, I think like I've sort of started thinking like about my life in terms of like, oh, what will I like, I think if I'm to live a standard length life, very far from the point in which I will be on my deathbed. But sometimes I think like, okay, like if I were to reflect on my life at some point in the future, what will I be able to sort of look back and sort of I'm going to commit to the style that I said I'm going to do. So give me 1 second. I sort of started thinking back on, or like thinking forward about how I'm going to reflect. So I guess weird, but on like sort of the things that I have done in my life and things that I'm going to be able to positively like reflect on. And forgive me if there's some cuts. I feel like I've been, being interrupted quite a bit, but I think travel is one of those things that is as stereotypical as it might sound or whatever, I think it's something that you can be like, wow, like I think there are certain experiences that can only be achieved through travel if you're like fortunate enough to be able to do it. And I think that's sort of like, oh, I sort of did this in the example of what Ludwig and Michael Reeves did, like this challenge myself, and of course they did it with like no maps and no technology and whatever, and or like no maps and smartphones and all that, and no navigation. And it's not necessarily that I want to challenge myself in the same way, but just the idea of sort of like doing something like unique, of sort of like exploring or whatever. You get the idea. And so I think I think I'd like to do something like something like that in my life. And I don't know. I think I've just started thinking about like, you know, what country would I want to be able to get to know on that level, and sort of I don't know, have a memory, an extended memory of like, oh my gosh, yeah, when I did this, when I went and traveled to this country and got to know it, you know, not in a just like touristy way, which I still think is very cool. I think most of the travel I've done is like touristy travel, but like sort of know it in a different way, and sort of do something where it's, you know, you and another person having a shared experience too, which I think is another part that I enjoyed about that the series was, you know, their shared interactions with one another. And crap, I didn't think this through. Hold on. Okay, it might look bad for a second, but you're gonna get the vision in a second, or in a minute. So, but trust me. But yeah, I think that's another part that I really enjoyed about their whole like vlog thing, was them sort of doing it together. And I don't know, I thought that was just like, I think part of life that you can reflect on and look back on positively are the connections that you made with other people. And so I think it'd be cool to like have that experience with someone where it's like, yeah, we both really want to do this, and then it is, you know, you get, I don't know. Like I'm aware that I am like describing a very what's the word that perhaps I'm looking for, like like not unique thought. And so I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm somehow enlightened for thinking this way. I'm just sort of like trying to get my thoughts. I'm being too self-critical in this moment. Whatever. But yeah, I very much liked watching that series, and it made me want to do something similar. Not as like content. I don't, you know, care to make travel content, but just for myself and for my life to be able to sort of be able to live it and say that I've done it. You know what I mean? I think those are like, you know, the types of experiences that I want to have in my life are ones where I think I sort of left this comfort zone that I've made myself, and, you know, not all the time and not forever, but sort of tried new things, and you know, shared experiences with people that I love and care about. And I think that's what would most make me happy, is to be able to, you know, experience things and connect with people in a way that is very meaningful and that I can positively reflect on. So yeah. Who knows if that'll make any sense when I edit it, because I do realize that sometimes I have the tendency of like, in my head I get ahead of the words that I think I said, and so I won't complete a thought because I thought I already thought it, and so I'm like, oh well, yeah, I'm already done. I said that, but it did not come out of my mouth the way it existed in my head. So we'll see if this makes any sense. Okay, let me do something real quick. This isn't working out quite how I thought it would. You know, it's fine, right? No, I can make it work. I think I'm like sort of in that position where I'm like, am I gonna have to throw this whole video away? And I'll be very honest with you. I have like, I don't know what's been going on with me lately, but as of late I have like a graveyard of videos that currently, exist on my PC that I am questioning whether they will ever see the light of day. And I'm like, geez, I can't do another one. So I'm trying my best to not chicken out, because I realize this looks crazy. But I don't know, I kind of like it, or at least I'm convincing myself to like it. And again, this looks very unlike any sort of art that I have ever posted anywhere on my channel, and so I think that sort of like doubt kicks in of like, oh boy, what are you doing? You're gonna embarrass yourself. But I also don't think anyone cares that much. No one cares as much as I do. Is, I think the lesson I am having to learn here and refusing to. What needs more definition? Definitely the arm. I also apologize if you can like hear the birds outside very loudly. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be drawing attention to it, but it's sort of like they're being kind of loud. This is kind of all over the place. Let's just do that. And then perhaps we can like, because I think I like it better when it looks, yeah, right? I didn't even say a thought or a sentence, but we know. Right? No. Honestly, am I missing something? Okay, one of the pupils is bigger than the other. Am I missing something in this design? Doesn't Drowsy have like maybe some like lines on his trunk? Okay, I think that helped. I'm not okay. I can't say that I have a distinct style in any way. I think I sort of go with the flow pretty often, but I don't know. I kind of like how this is turning out. Okay, let's just reconnect this, because who cares? Is this it? I mean, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna look up a picture of Drowsy on my phone just to have, because I think I feel like, this is him. Should I get rid of the background so you can see him better? There he is in his full glory. I'm trying to think if there is anything missing, but I'm gonna go ahead and lock it in. I'm gonna look up Drowsy, which then would eliminate the whole thing of drawing it from memory. So let's look up Drowsy. Okay, I'm gonna put in the picture that I came across. To be honest, it could be worse. And I think I captured his essence pretty well. I got the head shape pretty wrong, and he does not look like a bowling pin. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like how it turned out. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this was a success. Yeah, I got the pose right. I mean, at least in the picture I'm looking at. Which I don't know why it says Sonic Pokemon Unipedia. I don't know what this is about, but anyway, that's gonna be it for this one. If you enjoyed it, maybe I'll challenge myself to doing this more often. But for now, that's I guess my first attempt at drawing a Pokemon from memory. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye. Wait, that's not my outro. Why am I saying that? And in the meantime, take care of yourself, which is a reference to something. But anyway, bye.